Hi friends, hello everyone, welcome back to my tutorials. So in this video, let us go into very important concept and which will be very useful for you, where I'm gonna give you the short notes and some tricks to remember the all the characteristic features of non-chordate phylum, which includes the phylum Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and Hemochordata. So all this phylum I'm gonna discuss with comparative study. I'm gonna give you some table which I have followed during my studies, and this will become very important short notes for your NEET exam as well as your board exams also. As usual, always it will be asked, so which I'm gonna discuss with you people. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So first let me show you the short notes which is prepared by me for my studies. As you can see, so all the phylums, can you see this one? See, in this particular section I have written common name, level of organization, symmetry, body cavity, body wall, habitat, distinct features, skeletal system, function of cell, respiration, circulation, nervous system, digestive system, excretion, reproduction, and examples. Very important. So I have taken the middle page of the book, okay, and I have taken two pages and I have attached it and prepare one of the very important notes which helped me very lot in my during my revisions. So this is very important. All the time you cannot read your notes, okay, daily you cannot read your notes, but this one single page made me to remember. So because there is many characteristics, distinct features are there, so if you read once, obviously you will gonna confusion, you will be having the confusion. Trick that I am saying, that always when there is this many amount of phylums and you have to remember all these things, please go for the comparative study, then you can easily understand. Can you see, I have written all the things. I know you don't understand this one, and also you can see this condition because this is the one which I was using for my studies during my class 11th. I have prepared this. So all the kingdoms in this particular page. So in same thing what I have written, I will give you this, I will provide you this is the notes, short notes, which is prepared by my own, that is handwritten it is. So but I will give you some in the PDF format, and I will also explain, which will become very easy for you people. Let's go to the PDF. I have reduced all these things into the PDF format. So as usual, you can see here everything I have given here. See, so first whatever the phylums are there, that is we have Porifera, Coelenterata, Ctenophora, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Echinodermata, and Hemochordata we have. And also I have taken all these features, my dear students, in a single page. You have all the points covered, that is its common name, level of organization, its symmetry, cavity, body wall, habitat, distinct features. Can you see this one? And then respiration, circulation, nervous, digestive system, excretion, reproduction, and the very important part is your examples. Always asked in your NEET examination or CET examination, examples, okay, directly they will not ask, obviously through the match the following, pick out the odd one, in that format they will ask. So let us go one by one. See, until the distinct features I will go phylum by phylum, then onwards let me compare all these things, then let me understand for you people, so it will be very easy for you. So first of all, let us go for the phylum Porifera. Obviously its common name, very important, it is also known as sponges. And next thing is the level of organization. Can you see, it's a cellular, okay, cellular level of organization, because it's a basic organism, okay. And next, its symmetry is asymmetrical, okay. Obviously we have two symmetry like radial and bilateral, but this particular porifera, as it is too basic one, as like a sponges, it is asymmetrical, we cannot divide it to two equal halves only, okay. And body cavity, as usual, you know, we have acoelomates, pseudocoelomates, and coelomates based on the cavity presence, okay. So that is, this is acoelomates. Okay, so they do not consisting of a body cavity. Okay, next is body wall. So in NCERT they have not mentioned body wall at all because it's so primitive organism, we cannot differentiate into body wall only. Okay, and next habitat. So remember, so porifera is an aquatic organism where it could be the fresh or it could be the marine. Okay, and also remember the freshwater organism was only one, that is spongilla. Okay, so remaining everything comes under marine only. Okay, remember that one, spongilla for example for fresh water. So I'm saying extra also which is not mentioned in NCERT, but it is important in the point of view of NEET examination. Because why I'm saying that one is because I have prepared for it, so I know few points which my teacher has taught for me, so that I am gonna share in this video. Okay, so next important thing is distinct features. Obviously in every phylum you have this distinct features, you must know all these things. Okay, can you see? So they exhibit water transport system or canal system. See, this is very important. Kynodermata also gonna have this distinct feature, but that particular is water vascular system. Okay, but this is water canal system. Many of the students will get confused, because see, we obviously through porifera, if I say means obviously I say water transport or canal system. Okay, but in NEET examination they will not give like this. They just give the water vascular system, and in the options we have like porifera or echinodermata like that. So you must be very clear about this. Okay, so water transport or canal system. Okay, and also they have the minute pores. Okay, I have written very shortly because keywords are very important, right? That is why. So see, the minute pores which is called as ostia, and body cavity is lined by specialized cells which is known as choanocytes. Okay, and if there is any spelling mistake, sorry for that, because this is typed by me. This is typed through computer, so therefore there will be some spelling mistakes. Please adjust with it, but points are all correct. Okay, so next you can see this cavity. We have the body cavity, very important, remember, that is sponge cell. Okay, and also functions. What is the functions of choanocytes? That is, we know that there are special cells, right? See, those helps in respiratory exchanges, gathering of food, removal of excretory waste, and exchange of gametes. Very important, four functions of the cells. Okay, so you must remember. Okay, next thing, let me go for cylindrator. Okay, so till this I just say phylum by phylum. From respiratory system I just compare with each phylum, and that I will say, so that therefore it will be very easy for remembering. Okay, so I'm saying little bit faster, okay, without going into the deep, because this video I don't want to keep it long, for very short, because it is short notes, very important for your revision purpose, so I'm making it short. Okay, so yes, that is phylum Coelenterata. Obviously you must know its common name Cnidarians, you will also call it as Cnidarians. Okay, and level of organization, we have tissue level of organization. Okay, and then its symmetry is radial symmetry. Okay, which is nothing but they can be divided into two equal arcs by any plane. Okay, which should pass through the center. Okay, and next we have body cavity or coelomates, no body cavity, and next body wall, and it's a diploplastic, which is nothing but a two layer will be there. Okay, and also habitat, you must remember, that is aquatic habitat. That is it might be marine also, it might be fresh also. Okay, and also remember the distinct features, very important. We have the specialized. So that is, we have this nidoblast as a specialized cells, and also they have the body and some tentacles. Okay, and also remember, very important distinct feature is they have stinging apparatus which is called as nematocytes, and these particular cells, what they have, will be producing some neurotoxic chemicals. And what are the functions of those chemicals? And also the tentacles, I can say. See, they helps in anchorage, which is nothing but attachment with whatever it may be, so substratum. Okay, and they also helps in catching the prey, which is nothing but they obviously they need food, right? So for their survival, so that is why they have that particular thing for catching the prey. And also those tentacles on which is having the nematocytes will help in self defense, obviously. and also okay, that is about the functions. Okay, and next they have the gastrovascular cavity, and remember this is very specialized for like features. See, I am saying whichever important, that is very important, please put a star mark on it. See, I am unable to put because this is a PDF where I have sent through my PC, that is my laptop, that is why I cannot write anything on this. Okay, so that's why please whatever I will say that it is important, please mark it through star mark. Okay, so it is having gastrovascular cavity, so this very very important point, and it is having single opening and mouth will be there on hypostome. And also remember the corals, okay, the specialized type of coelentrates is having some skeleton which is made up of calcium carbonate. Fine. Now let us move on to the Ctenophora. So Ctenophora common name is sea walnuts or comb jellies. Level of organization is tissue level only. So coelentrated Ctenophora almost shares the same things. Okay. So that is how you have to remember. This is how comparative study. If you make this columns and if you read, you know, literally you're gonna remember. Otherwise you will be not remembering. Okay. Remember so this particular coelentrate and Ctenophora will almost shares some similar pattern of characters. Okay, symmetry also both are radial, that is a radial symmetry, and ocelomates body cavity, body wall is diploblastic, and habitat very very important. See I have marked here in the with a double inverted comma. So can you see that one, aquatic marine? So where I have marked is like this. See, aquatic marine, aquatic marine, they are exclusively marine organisms. I'm saying important point now. Your phylum Hemochordata, phylum Echinodermata, and your phylum Ctenophora comes under exclusive marine organisms. Very important question. So this will comes for your NEET examination, please remember with that. And yes, next is distinct features. They have air like structures which is called cilia. See, have typed double time, sorry for that. And it had 8 vertical rows of fused cilia called comb plates, and also this shows bioluminescence, very very important distinct feature. So next is platyhelminthes. So they are known as flatworms. Obviously you know that platyhelminthes in name only we have flat. Okay, and level of organization, see it is upgrading, right? See, modification, see first is cellular, then is tissue, then is tissue, or because I said this both will share same. And next is platyhelminthes is organ. Obviously next will be organ system. See, this is how comparative study works. Okay, otherwise you was getting confusion, right? But don't make like that. First is cellular, then tissue, then organ system, like that. So if to remembering for this, see if this comparative study want to really work on your strategy of remembering, first remember the porifera, coelentrated for phylum names. First remember the phylum names in order. In order only you have to remember, like porifera only first, next only coelentrated, then only ctenophora. So if you remember all the phylums in like order, okay, in order wise, then only you can apply this comparative study strategy for your whatever study. Okay, studies you can apply. Otherwise you can, if you read also or whatever you do, you like you will be not remembering at the proper time. Okay, so this is one of the strategy I am giving, that is comparative study. So yes, and next symmetry is bilateral symmetry, which is nothing but a body can be divided into two equal walls, that is by the central, that is by the through a single plane which is passing through the center only. Okay, radial means through any planes. Okay, next is your body cavity is ocelomates. Okay, and body wall is triploblastic. See, modification. So diploblastic was there. So diploblastic, and your triploblastic. Okay, habitat is aquatic, or it may be free living or endoparasite. Obviously worms they are. Obviously they may be endoparasites which lives on the other organisms, and that is inside the organisms and derive all the nutritions, right? That is the endoparasites. Next is obviously distinct features, that is dorsoventral flattened body, hooks and suckers will be present. Okay, and also they are parasitic forms, and they just some absorbs nutrition directly through the surface of the body. Okay, Next is phylum Aschelmanthus. This common name is also known as nematoda or roundworms. Level of organization, organ system, and it is bilateral symmetry. Body cavity is pseudocoelom, which is nothing but your mesoderm is there. No, they are not packed with the cells. Instead, they have mesoglia. Okay, so that is why they call it a pseudocoelom. Okay, body cavity, they have the false cavity. Okay, because cavity, complete body cavity will be not there, so instead that they have some fluid called as mesoglia. Okay, so that is why so video will be length, so that is why I'm not explaining deeply, so but I'm saying everything. Okay, and next you have body wall, so that is triple plastic, three layers: ectoderm, endoderm, mesoderm. And habitat, that is aquatic, or that is aquatic, and it may be free living or terrestrial or parasite. And yeah, once again I'm saying important, please mark this particular point as important. Muscular pharynx is developed. Okay, in Aschelmanthus, in which organism that is muscular pharynx is present? In match the following, it may come like in for your NEET examination, multiple choice. So muscular pharynx is present in Aschelmanthus. So I have see how many times I have repeated. So next, circular cross section is there, and also we have the excretory pore for it. Okay, next coming to the phylum Annelida. So its common name is not there, so I have given just annulus body. Okay, because annelida has been derived from the word annulus in the sense a ring like structure. Okay, so next is organ system. See, once it will be there in that particular state only. From here, from Aschelmanthus, all the things are organ system, organ system, organ system. From here you don't want to remember like orthopoda, you don't want to get confusion with like tissue system or organ system like that, because you will be comparatively studying, right? That is Aschelmanthus. From Aschelmanthus everything is organ system like that. So that's a, so it's a coelomates, so that is the body cavity will be there. So next is, it is triploblastic, and next thing is your uh, aquatic, it will be marine and freshwater, and terrestrial. Next, distinct features, if I come to the distinct features, that is body is internally and externally divided into the ring-like structure which is called as annulus. I have already said. Longitudinal and transverse muscle will be there for locomotion. Now what I am saying is very important. Once again, mark it. That is, we have nereis, earthworm, leeches as three main examples given in your NCERT for this particular what can I say, annelida. So in that, nereis is processing the lateral appendages for swimming and called as parapodia. And earthworm, okay, so I think hope you understand, it is having the appendages, lateral appendages, helping for swimming, which is nothing but a locomotion. Earthworm is having setae, that is air-like bristle, so made up of chitin, okay, and which is helping for the locomotion. And next is leeches. So leeches is having suckers for locomotion. Three locomotion part they have explained you. Next is phylum Orthopoda. So its common name is jointed appendages. So that it's not having actually. So I have given, okay, jointed appendages. The key thing which you should remember in that particular phylum. Organ system, and obviously bilateral symmetry, because once if it start, I have already said bilateral symmetry, which where it will start, platyhelminthes. So remember that one. So bilateral symmetry starts at platyhelminthes. From there everything is bilateral symmetry, that's it. Then you don't want to read that it is bilateral symmetry. See, if you read one by one phylum, then you will read all these things like it is bilateral, organ system. So to remember that each and everything is becoming very tough. But if you make this column and take a comparison, and comparatively you see, if you study means, okay, you will get into, you will fix into your mind that okay, from platyhelminthes bilateral symmetry will starts, therefore bilateral symmetry for everywhere, like that. Okay, that is a thing, that is a trick what I am gonna explaining you. Okay, so yes, next is it's triploblastic. Okay, so coelomates, triploblastic, three layers. Aquatic, so terrestrial and parasite or aerial, because arthropoda is the largest kingdom which includes all of the insects. Obviously aerial it will be there. So okay, next is, okay, sorry for the spelling mistake of aerial, it's Aerial. And next is the largest phylum, as I've already said, and it have very important point I am saying, just mark it, have chitinous exoskeleton. This is very important, exo. So they just confuse you, so they will give some statement in your NEET examination. Okay, everything will be right, okay, everything, but one word what they just do is, instead of exo they will give endo, but the students for like you, like everything will be right, no, so they just put, okay, statement A is also true, statement B is also true, so you lost there. So you must see word by word, that's not the exoskeleton, sorry, it's not the endoskeleton, it's the exoskeleton. Okay, so remember this one. Okay, later in another phylum endoskeleton will comes, there you get confused. So that is why I'm saying have a comparative study. Okay, so next, body has been divided into head, thorax and abdomen. Sometimes head and thorax is there and to get fused to form the cephalothorax. And I have already said jointed appendages, and obviously remember sensory organs will be there. That is, you're having the eyes may be simple or compound eyes, and it is having statocyst, that is helping for the balancing of the body. And also mouth is there, no, so mouth will be having some movable appendages, which is helping for the feeding. Okay, okay, so yes, now let us move on to the next phylum. Phylum mollusca, which is having soft body, organ system level or organization, and it is having bilateral symmetry. And next it is phylum, that is body cavity is present, and next it's triploblastic and aquatic, marine, freshwater, and it may be terrestrial. Okay, and see distinct features of mollusca. Body of molluscans is covered by calcareous calcareous shell. Important, remember, mark it as important, wherever I am saying you must mark. Okay, and unsegmented body is there, and it is divided into region, that is head, visceral region and muscular foot. See, this particular molluscan body has been divided into three regions, that is head is there, visceral region is there, muscular foot will be there. Okay, remember this one. And it is having the soft skin, which is mantle. Okay, sorry, soft skin it will be there, and a mantle cavity is present between, sorry, the cavity is there, no, so the soft skin is called as mantle. Okay, and you are having the cavity, okay, which is present between your mantle and visceral lump. Okay, and which is called as mantle cavity. Okay, that particular mantle cavity is having tinidia gills. Okay, and also remember anterior ribs will be bears the sensory tentacles. Okay, head is, you know, it is having some tentacles. Okay, so that is tentacles. Okay, I think you have seen this tentacles like this, it will be there. So I cannot draw, so that is why I'm saying sorry for that. So you know tentacles, you can search. Okay, so next is echinodermata. So very important, spinny body organism, and its organ system level, bilateral symmetry, and very important. So put the 3 stars or 4 stars to this, that is it's very important. Bilateral symmetry in larva, but it is having radial symmetry in adults. Okay, actually here everywhere modification will takes place from primitive to higher level, but here what happens, in larva it is having bilateral symmetry, but in the case of your adult it is having radial symmetry. That is why especially it is called as a retrogressive metamorphosis. Okay, we will call like this. See, this is all the things not having in your book, but it is very important for your need point of view. So this is all the things which is taught by my teachers, and still I am remembering now. So I am not at all seeing the notes, but I am saying like that because I have remember all these things. Okay, so that is retrogressive metamorphosis, and it's a coelomates and triploblastic, and I have already said important, that is aquatic, exclusively marine. And its special characters have calcareous oscillus as endoskeleton, I said right. So exoskeleton, endoskeleton, remember echinodermata is having endoskeleton. Okay, but way that went, that is exoskeleton, I said for arthropoda, right? Yes, it is having chitinous. See, here it is having chitinous exoskeleton. Okay, so next is here endoskeleton. Okay, that is here endoskeleton. Okay, and yeah, I've also said it has water vascular system, but your porifera is having water canal system. This is how you have to study comparatively. This is what made me remember till now also. And water enter through the pore called madreporite. At dorsal side it has 5 central radial rings, okay, and see it is having central ring, okay, and it is having 5 radial canals, okay, and a tube feet, okay. See, this particular system helps in the movement of water through the tube feet, okay. So first of all, remember, it is having the central ring and it is having the 5 radial canals, okay, and also it's having tube feet, okay. So and there will be movement of the water, okay, so that is causing the locomotion, important. Next, coming for the phylum hemochordata. So stomochordates, very important, it's common name. Organ system, bilateral symmetry, coelomates, triploblastic, everything runs same. Aquatic marine, have already said that it's exclusive marine. Distinct features. See, it is having stomochord. See, stomochord is nothing but the rudimentary structure. We cannot say it is completely chordates or completely non-chordates. It is having chordate like structure, so but it is not completely the chordate, okay. So that is what we will call it as stomochord. And then we have the rudimentary, okay, that is what we call it is rudimentary, okay. And earlier it was having, okay, earlier what we were considering as a subphylum under chordates only, but now we have separated it, okay. So and body is cylindrical and composed of anterior proboscis and a collar region and long trunk, okay. This is mentioned in your NCERT book only. So this was about the all the phylum explanation. Now let us take a comparative explanation. So that is of respiratory, circulation, nervous, digestive, excretion, everything I just say one by one, okay. So starting from the porifera, respiratory system is canal system only, okay. And next, coming to this particular cylindrate and tenophore, they have not mentioned anything, is not mentioned because so primitive it is. And platyhelminthes and ascomyces also they have not mentioned about respiration, so don't worry about it. You just don't search and go and search all those things, okay. But what you have to do is just first learn what is there, then search the extra things which is not required, okay. Don't go for unnecessary things because already more necessary things is already there for you people which you need to study, okay. So yes, coming to the annelida. Annelida will respire through the soft moist skin as well as gills. And arthropoda will respire through gills, book lungs, and tracheal system. Mollusca by Tinidia gills. Okay, so we have a comparative like study like this. And Chenodermata will be having tube feet and cloacal respiratory tree and dermal papillae. Hemichordata they have not mentioned, so I have not taken that. Circulation system. For porifera, it's canal system, and rest of the things from cylindrate to ascomyces is not mentioned. But for your annelida, your circulatory system, see, circulation system from your you are having only two. See, one is open type of circulation system, closed system. See, what is this? I just explain you, my dear students. Remember and listen to me very carefully. See, there is whatever it may be, gills or art or whatever it may be, okay. So which is pumping the all the body fluid, okay. So if that particular body fluid is getting pumped to the body through body veins, okay, so that is capillaries or whatever, like a tube like structures, okay, that is what we called as closed system. All the blood from gills or heart, okay, is like carried through all the part of the body through some tubes or pipes, whatever it may be, okay, that is arteries and veins, what we call. But in open system, what happens is all the blood is pumped directly into the body cavity, okay. There will be no pipe like structure or tube like structure to carry all this body fluids, okay. That is what we call it as open system. I think hope you clear. So my dear students, remember almost all of your non-chordates, that is what I say non-chordates, all are open system only except annelida. See, put the 10 star for this. This is a very important question I am saying. So closest type of system which is there for only one of your non-chordates, that is annelida. Except that no other things is having. Okay, so yes, that is about circulation. Next, coming to the nervous system. So the porifera they have not mentioned. Cylindrata you have for diffuse nervous system only, and here also you have diffuse nervous system until asci helminthis also there is a nerve ring. Okay, but annelida they have the pair of cerebral ganglia connected to the double ventral cord, so which is by connective tissues. Okay, and next for arthropoda they will be having cerebral ganglia and pharyngeal ganglia, and mollusca they are having three pair of ganglia, that is cerebral ganglia, visceral ganglia and pedal ganglia. And for echinodermata they are having nerve ring once again, primitive one, and hemochordata it's not mentioned. Digestive system, that is porifera is intracellular, this is very important, remember, and cylindrata is both extracellular and intracellular. And next ctenophora, see I have already said cylindrata and ctenophora almost share the similar things. Okay, that is you remember that both extracellular and intracellular is for cylindrata and ctenophora. Okay, and next is platyhelminthes. Here comes your special introduction of word called as complete digestive system and incomplete digestive system. So what is meant by this means, see, incomplete digestive system means for the organism there is only one opening which is acting as both mouth and anus, that is called as incomplete digestive system. But in the case of complete digestive system, where you are having two opening, one is mouth and another is anus, that is called as. Okay, so the incomplete digestive system you can see, which is also called as a blind sac, which is very important, is present only in the platyhelminthes. Remaining rest everything is having the complete digestive system. Okay, everything you can see here. Okay, but in the case of mollusca, so I have explained some more points, that is mouth is there, mouth is having rasping organ, that is phylex structure which is called as radula, which is helping for feeding. See, all the points I have covered, guys. If you read this and if all these things are there in your mind, you are perfect. That's it. Next is porifera excretion, they have not mentioned, but cylindrata is for diffusion. Ctenophora is not mentioned. And yeah, very important comes platyhelminth is having flame cells, which is also called as protonephridia for their excretion. Okay, and next is asci helminthis, which is having excretory pore. And next is phylum annelida, which is having the nephridia for excretion. Arthropoda, which is having the Malpighian tubules for their excretion. Mollusca is having metanephridia. See, nephridia, see, protonephridia, nephridia, metanephridia. Protonephridia for platyhelminthes, nephridia for annelida, and next metanephridia for mollusca. This is how you have to remember. Next is your water vascular system works for excretion also in the case of echinodermata. And next is phylum hemochordata is having the proboscis gland. And next is in the case of reproduction, in the case of porifera, see, very important, hermaphrodites, one of the word is introduced. See, hermaphrodites is nothing but male and female is not distinguished, both male and female is there in only one organism, that is also called as monoecious or bisexual. See, all the confusing term I am explaining you right now. So hermaphrodites, bisexual, monoecious, all these three words are one and the same. And also, obviously, in reproduction we have asexual reproduction, sexual reproduction. Asexual is by fragmentation, gemelle formation, and sexual by gamete fusion. And also remember, we have this internal fertilization and zygote formation and larva stage is present, so that is indirect development. And one more thing I have to say is, you can see this indirect development. Okay, everything. Okay, so I just say you how to remember one of the trick. See, the phylum which starts with A, that is asci helminthis, annelida, arthropoda. All these three phylums is having direct or indirect development, direct or indirect development, or direct or indirect development. Okay, remember the phylums which is starting with the A letter is having development both direct and indirect. That this is a trick. Okay, and rest of everything is having indirect development. That's it, your indirect and direct cleared. Now no more confusion, no more things. If the phylum is given which is starting with A letter, it's having both direct and indirect development. Rest of all the non-chordate phylums is indirect development. That's it, done with our things. Fine. Next you can read this, guys. So video becomes really lengthy, my dear students. That is why I'm not reading much, but I have covered everything till now. So but you can read here. So reproduction, that is it's both monoecious and dioecious, and sexual by budding, sexual by fusion. And next is here is external fertilization. Okay, so this is also important, external fertilization, and here also external fertilization. Okay, so but you, in the case of your platyhelminthes, it is internal fertilization. Okay, and also it is monoecious, and you can read, as helminthes it is dioecious female, and this is very important point, female is longer than male. Okay, don't get confused. And sexual reproduction will takes place, and you have this particular internal fertilization and indirect development. So, okay, indirect or direct development. And next you have yeah, in case of annelida, see nereis is there, no, it is dioecious. Okay, but your earthworm and leech is, it is monoecious. This is very important. Okay, so what I have given this point, please remember this. And also sexual reproduction. Okay, so we have the sexual reproduction and fusion of gametes is there, and external fertilization is also, you can see. And direct or indirect development, what I said, no, that is trick you have to apply. And next is arthropoda dioecious, sexual reproduction will takes place, so internal fertilization will takes place. Okay, and next is here also in remaining everything is dioecious, my dear students, from here. Okay, only this both things, Silentata and platyhelminthes, you can see it has monoecious, and also your particular porifera also. Remaining, I can say everything is dioecious. Okay, you can easily remember that one. And also you can see this is a sexual reproduction. Okay, that is your mollusca. If I consider external and internal fertilization both will takes place, it's a oviparous. Okay, and indirect development takes place. And next is echinodermata, it's a dioecious, and sexual reproduction will takes place, external fertilization and indirect development. Okay, and hemochordata also dioecious, indirect development will takes place, and it's a external fertilization. So, and examples, see examples I'm not gonna say, you can easily see this one because this is there already in NCERT textbook. This is not any special, so I have like separated like this because you can easily remember like that. Okay, so once I just say for you people, examples for porifera: Cycon cypher, spongula, freshwater sponge, and your spongula, bath sponge. And one thing I have to say here, that see, while you are remembering the examples, please do remember the examples which is present in the bracket also. It's common name. Okay, that's important. And if I come for porifera, Coelenterata is Physalia, Adamsia, Penatula, Gorgonia, Mindrina. Okay, I have given all the common names also. Ctenophora, it is having the pleurobrachia and Ctenoplana. And next is you have platyhelminthes, that is Tinea, tapeworm, fasciola, liver fluke, and planaria. And also I have to say one thing important, see planaria will show the regeneration capacity, that is important point, remember that one. And yes, annelida we have paratima, urinaria, and sucking leech. Orthopoda we have Apis, Bombyx, Lacifer, Aedes, Anopheles culex. She have given very beautifully. Gregarious pest Locusta, living fossil Limulus. I have separated and I have given you. And next is Mollusca, Phyla, Pinctada, Sepia, Loligo, Aplysia, Panatula, Pentalium, Octopus, and Ketopleura. Next is Echinodermata, Asterius, Echinus, Antedon, Cocomeria, Ophiura. And last thing is Hemochordata. example, two important example, that is we have melanoglossus and sarcoglossus. And I think this is a very helpful for you people, so it is very helpful for your revision purpose. So please go through this, and instead of seeing this PDF every time, please write it once with your hands. So enough guys, you will be remember everything. Okay, it will be helpful for you. So that's all for this today's video. I think hope you all understand the concept what I explained you today. So meet you in the next video. Till that, stay tuned.